Welcome to the Orlando Lions Den Podcast, your number one Orlando City podcast. For the fans, by the fans. For the fans, by the fans. Keeping you in the know on all things Orlando City since 2018.
Hello. Another edition of Orlando Lions Den. Thank you guys for joining us again tonight. Trying to get this out. Guess it'll be the day of the Philly match. So we got two games to look forward to this week. Thank you all for joining us. We're making our way up the standing. It feels like. I think we're in a dogfight right now. We'll talk about it as we get into our episode tonight. I'm here with Cleon and Mike. Cleon, what you got going on back there? Some wrestling or something?
Yeah, man. I always got something going on over here, so it's all good. I'm ready.
Your dog was I thought it was a statue for like the longest time because it wasn't even moving its head or nothing. It was just looking to the ghosts of the past or something.
Hey, he's a little psychopath.
Yeah, they could be barking. We've had that before. So.
He might.
Mike, what's up, my man?
I'm doing good, man. I've spent the whole weekend sick, but I just wanted to kind of finish the conversation that I started last week about how good of a commissioner Cleon is in our fantasy football league. That he was so good that he let me beat up on him by almost doubling up his score. It was great.
Ooh. I made some big trades. They went through today. So, I have currently the most points scored against me, and I'm in fourth, so holding down that playoff spot right now. Can't complain. And I made some moves. To hopefully better the team. So Cleon said I couldn't get one of the top three running backs, and then I went and made it happen.
No comment on any of this.
Pulled it off.
Cleon is currently in the zone. Not a good zone. The relegation zone is where Cleon is in both leagues. So
it's temporary.
Cleon,
It's temporary.
Cleon is on his way to League 2 if he doesn't pick it up, get it together.
Temporary.
We won't have to worry about him co-owning a team in League 2 next year because he'll have his own. So as of right now.
Sorry, a wild trade just happened in one of my money leagues. Justin Jefferson just got put on the move.
Oh, wow. For who?
For Achane and Amari Cooper. I'm confused, man. I'm so confused as to why someone.
Is that a money league? That's vetoable. That wasn't in our league.
Yeah, no, it's not in our league. I am gonna veto that. That sounds so dumb.
I don't know about all that.
Trade Justin Jefferson. It's the same guy who offered me Ramondre Stevenson for Rashid Shaheed. I was like, why? Doesn't make sense.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I went and got Mr. Henry, so hopefully he has his MVP style year like CMC did last year. And
well, I say let's move on from all this fantasy football talk until I'm out of the relegation zone. So,
hey, you still have a 25% chance to make the playoffs, so that's a good thing about the.
Hey man, I ain't worried about the playoffs. I'm not even worried about playoffs at this point. I just need to get out of that. I just need to get out of that 13th and 14th at this point.
It's just so such a tight and competitive league that you really got to win only about five games. It's 4 or 5 games. To make it out. So,
really, I'll win one game and the right people lose next week. I could jump all the way up to like 6th.
Although I didn't help you out, I gave Ryder his first dub this week.
Our league's crazy, man.
So I didn't help you out. So, all right, let's move on. Thank you guys again for joining us tonight. Like I said, we're gonna talk about this big dub in Dallas. Feels good for a nice win in Dallas. We'll talk about the 2 matches that are coming up this week and look a little bit into the standings as we do it. Before we get into it, we'll quickly thank our sponsors. Of course, we got our man who's not here tonight, Eddie the commish, the insurance man. Give him a call. He works with Compare Insurance Agency. He is a Liberty Mutual representative works directly through Liberty Mutual, offering a multitude of different companies: home insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, pet insurance, renters insurance. Anything you got, he can help you out. So he's my agent. I know he's helped a lot of people out from OC Twitter. And of course, with the storms coming in, home insurances will continue to rise. So make sure you're getting his help. If your policy goes up, make sure you have him review it, and he'll be more than happy to take care of you. Send him a message, shoot us a DM, and we'll get you to the right place to get all that information. We have Leo with the Epic Mortgage team, powered by U Mortgage. 478-447-696. Apply with Leo.com. Mortgage rates going down. If you got a mortgage in the last 6 months or so, you're probably at all-time highs on your interest rate. If they get to about a point less than what you are at, it might not be a good idea to look into a refinance. If you're looking at purchasing a home now, is starting to get to be a good time to do it again. So hit up Leo, and he'll take care of you with the refi, and make sure that you're doing it the right way, and he'll give you the best deal that he can. He loves to work with people that we send them through the podcast. Just mention us, and he'll help you out at Loans by Leo on Twitter. And then Chad McGibbon, if you are buying a house, if you're selling your house, hit up Chad. He's a real estate agent here in Central Florida. He's a fantastic guy to work with. Huge Orlando City supporter, very good supporter of the podcast as well. We're appreciative of Chad, and I know he would really appreciate you guys hitting him up if you are looking to purchase a home. At Chad McGibbon on Twitter, QR code is on the screen. Once again, you could send us a message or DM, and we will get you in the right spots to talk about it. And last but not least,
he is also 0-4 in League Two, just like me.
Well, you're going to be playing competitive matches with him next year, as the way it goes. So I wouldn't talk too much. What happens if you can't get relegated in League Two, can you? No, right?
Got to play competitive matches against himself.
No.
Yeah, we'll see. All right,
you better not finish in last, man. Gotta have to give the reins over to somebody else.
I won't.
We'll see. I believe in Cleon. And then Hourglass Brew got us with the No Mango No Party beer earlier this year. We had a fantastic watch party. Wasn't a fantastic game, but it was awesome to spend time with everybody when we did it. Hit up their location by the Executive Airport or in Longwood, and mention we sent you, and they'll appreciate that. We are looking at possibly having a playoff watch party with them. If you're interested or would be interested in that, shoot us response on the Twitter posts or on the podcast on Spotify. Let us know if that's something that you would be interested in. And I don't know if we can do as many giveaways as we did, but we can definitely have as good of a time as we did for the hopefully one away match that we'll be playing in the playoffs. That will be the goal, is to set it up for that first round playoff match and get as many people together on the road to watch at the same location there off of Curry Ford and by the Executive Airport. So thank you guys, Hourglass, and we are hoping to set something up. Keep an eye out on that in the near future. All right, let's get into it. 3-1 win at Dallas, road match, and honestly, I mean, you can't ask for a road match to be much better. There's a little bit of squeaky bum time at the very end. I thought we were gonna give up a 3-goal lead for a second, especially when they had that second, and they got called back. They had plenty of chances. I mean, off the post, and Pedro doing Pedro things, doing the bad Pedro things and the good Pedro things, all within the span of 8.5 seconds. So I'm not sure how I felt about that, but all in all, we hold on, which is what you got to do on the road here in this league, and we get 3 points. A huge, massive 3 points on the way to that 4 seed if we want to get it. So we looked at this game as kind of the wild card game. You know, we kind of know what we're going to get, or hope to get, expect to get, really for the rest of the season, especially with a couple home matches and a couple road matches, and we got Cincinnati on the road, and you know, you kind of can know what you're going to get. But this is kind of the wild card, you know, going on the road, Poppy's old team, and a team that we're not historically fantastic against, and we got it done where we needed to do it. So now we got only 3 matches left to talk about. 2 of them are coming up this week, and really, I mean, we're 2 points ahead in that fourth spot. So big 3 points, especially if we can follow it up with 3 points on Wednesday night. Tell me you guys' reaction. I mean, we had Facu get his game tying or record tying goal for the all-time leading goals. We'll get more into that. We had Ramiro got a goal, and then Schlegel, a beautiful header off the corner. So, Cleon,
Rodrigo.
yeah, I mean, finally gets a goal. It was a nice one. Enrique had a really nice goal too, and we kind of just piled it on for that third goal. I want to know your thoughts on kind of how it ended. Does that give you any worry, or were you kind of? I mean, Dallas fighting for the playoff live, so kind of had to do what we had to do, I guess, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, you don't like what happened at the end of the game, but it honestly, I wouldn't say it worried me at all. Never felt like we were going to lose that game. We brought on subs, and our depth. I've been complaining about it all year. Our depth in midfield is trash. Behind our two starters. So but overall, I would say it was a satisfying win for me, man. Like that was one of those wins that's like that was one of those that you have to, when you're good, like you have to go there and get. You know what I mean? Dallas, I wouldn't say they're playing great or anything, but away going to Dallas. I mean, it usually that's a game we throw away. Let's put it that way. I shouldn't say usually because we haven't been to that team for a minute, but there's when we had times of inconsistency to where those are the types of games we throw away, and we go there and we just lay a complete egg. And I could have easily seen that going into that match, to be honest, and we didn't. We came in, we looked pretty much just as good as we had always been looking up until the end. So it was for me. I would say it was a satisfying win, man. Even with the little glitch at the end, if we want to call it that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Dallas is fighting for their playoff lives at home, and they had a decent crowd there. They did what kind of you expect a home team to do when they're down 3-0, and when we're making
and we
subs.
had backups, and we had all the backups on at that point too. So
yeah, they're doing, and it could have been different, and there would have been some questions if it did, but we did what we had to do. I think the biggest takeaway for me is the performance after being the first performance after that Columbus road loss. Losing 4-3 on the road in Columbus, and I was worried that the guys would be down about it and be a little sluggish because of it, and it was the exact opposite. So I think that match in Columbus now after this game, it kind of gives you the feeling that it's one of those rare occurrences where a loss can instill confidence. We can play with the best teams in the league. I think Columbus is regarded to be the best team. Honestly, I know they're third place, but they played a ton of matches. I don't think anybody's betting against Columbus to win the MLS Cup, unless you're pro referees, Don Garber probably. But I think that match, being that we had a chance and we had a great second half in that match, I think it instilled this confidence that hopefully we continue to bring and have on not only on Wednesday night but on Saturday too against Cincinnati, because if we get this 4 seed, it's all to play for. I don't want to play. I'd rather play Miami in the first and the second round. If we get the home advantage and we get 2 out of 3 dubs, I just Miami is a team that is super. They peaked. It feels like a little too early, and they might peak again in the playoffs. But it's a rivalry match. You can already feel the storylines being set, in my opinion. With the semifinals of the Eastern Conference being 2 derby games with us in Miami and Cincy and Columbus, and I think we've established to be clearly the 4th best team. So we just got to continue to play like it. Like I said, we're 2 points up now with 3 to play. And 2 of those 3 are at home against teams that are worse than us in the table. So, it's a good shout to get it. I mean, if we get 6 out of the 9, even if we skunk it at Cincy, you got to think that the only way that we don't get the 4 seed is if one of those other 3 teams, because we have the tiebreaker, which is wins. It's not goal differential. Got to remember that it's wins. We have that tiebreaker. the only way that we lose a 4 seed if we win against Philly and Atlanta is if one of those other 3 teams wins out. They got to win all the rest of their matches. So, it's satisfying, I think, to put ourselves in this position when, the stat this week on Twitter on social media has been 17 goals in 17 matches. And now all of a sudden we're 2 goals away from beating the all-time Orlando City single-season record for goals. We got 36 of those things in the last 14 matches. It's been absolutely insane. Honestly, hotter than we were last year at this time, and we were pretty damn hot last year at this time.
There's one thing that I'll add to that, and it was something that came on. I think it was from it was either from the MLS Power Rankings or the Give Me Sport Power Rankings. I don't remember which one it was exactly, but they basically said last year when Orlando got on this hot streak, it was us outperforming. And I know you hate this statistic, but we were massively outperforming our expected goals. We're currently actually still hitting pretty much on par exactly with our expected goals on this run. So it's not just that like we're outperforming at a crazy rate and we're hitting a bunch of ridiculous things that you normally wouldn't make. It's no, every single thing that we're making right now, we are hitting. Like it is those level of expectations, we are meeting them, and the expectations are lofty rather than us just being above on mediocre chances. It's we're creating a lot of good chances, and the most important part, we're converting them. We're not letting them sit. We're not missing out on them. We are converting the chances we're creating at a very, very extremely efficient rate.
Yeah, and Duncan, I honestly might have had the worst shift I've ever seen him have for Orlando City on Saturday.
Boy,
And he came in and after 3.5 minutes, he was at almost a full expected goal.
I was going to say, I'm going to take a look right now at the shot chart. That was 0.58 xG on that one that was directly in front of the center of the net.
Yeah,
it was a rough one to miss.
Felt like we should have had 4, maybe 5 goals. And for a team where we were after 17 matches, man, literally where we were after 17 matches, 17 goals. Dead last in the standings halfway through the season, man. Dead last. I can't believe that this is where we're at, now. So it's insane, I'm looking at the other teams that got to play. I'm looking at New York has to play Cincy. They play tomorrow night. New York's got to play Cincy. The Red Bulls have to play Columbus on decision day, and then I think Charlotte. So really, all of us have really one super tough matchup left. With this group, and right now we're in the lead. Charlotte's got it pretty easy. Chicago, Montreal, DC, but they're also playing the worst out of the teams that we're competing with. So it's gonna be interesting, man. If we get 2 wins, if we win 2 of these matches, we guarantee the tiebreaker against all of the teams, right? So against every single one of them, and there's no way for a team to get 8 points in 3 matches, which is what the other teams would need. So it's either they would sweep or they would, and jump us, or we'd be the 4 seed. So got to like our position right now to be the 4 seed, in my opinion. Got to.
Yeah. No, you have to.
Which is huge.
It's like I said on Den After Dark when we were doing it, I was like, ball's in our court. It's up to us. We can easily come home with it. It's ours for the taking. We control our own destiny. So just got to get points out of these games. Realistically, if you manage to get 7 points out of these 3 games, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens in the rest of them. You're the 4 seed. No one else can touch you.
Yeah. Nobody. Because
that's the other thing is I remember I had to explain this to Jake because he's just like, man, MLS is stupid sometimes. And it is. The first tiebreaker isn't goal differential. It's wins. Like we have more wins than the guys that are behind us. So,
theoretically New York could win out. we could go 7 points and then we'd be tied on wins. But even then, we are up 3 in the goal differential right now against New York.
Goal differential and goals for, we have them beat by a pretty good stretch right now.
Yeah. So the 4 seed is in the grasp, and it's where you want to be, you know. And the Red Bull, we've had decent luck with them lately, playing them 2 times at home and not having to play on the Yankee Stadium pitch or wherever the hell New York City would want to play. You know, that could be a big shot too. So it's going to be interesting to not only see if we can hold on to the 4 seed, but who can get that 5 seed as well. In a perfect world, maybe Charlotte gets a 5 seed with their easy schedule. We end up with Charlotte. I could envision a lot of fans going to that road match and you know, really calling it going all in for that first round. It feels like we're Columbus last year, in my opinion. That's kind of what it feels like to me. You know, a team that's found the footing and not only playing well on defense, but scoring a ton of goals, creating a ton of opportunities. And like I even said, if I remember correctly, Columbus lost to us at Orlando City Stadium last year, 4-3 in a thriller. We lost Columbus Stadium 4-3 in a thriller right before the season. So, hey,
my man's just trying to speak it into existence here, and I respect it.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. So, let's talk about Facundo Torres a little bit. I mean, is he's got to be on the Mount Rushmore of Orlando City players. At this point, I might be close to putting his face up there first, to be honest. The second half of the season that he's had is been the catalyst, has been the key to where we are. He tied the all-time record for goals with Kyle Larin for 44 total goals for Orlando City. I believe he's close to the single season all competitions record. How many is he at, Mike? 15, 16, something like that?
I think that's where he's at, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's 18.
Yeah, because I believe for rookie year, Kyle Larin was 17 goals and 1 assist.
Yeah, he's got he had 3. He's got 16. Yeah, he's got 16 right now because he had 3 in the Champions Cup. I don't think he had any in the Leagues Cup, did
he? No, he had 1 in Leagues Cup, I think, because Foot Mob was not counting it for some reason. I'm pretty sure it was weird.
Okay, so he was at 17 then, all competitions. So he's had a phenomenal year. You know, everybody's playing well. But tell me your thoughts, Cleon. I mean, how big is Facundo Torres to us right now? You know, obviously, I would assume he's on your Rushmore.
Oh, for sure.
How close is he getting to? I guess in reality, I mean, you'd have to say Nani would be the only other guy. I mean, Kaká, yeah, he helped bring us in, but I mean, where are you putting him on the order of top 1 through 4?
As far as production and success on the field, I put him at 1. I'll put him at 1. You know, it's weird to say because of saying longevity, because he's, you know, by far the youngest out of this group. But you know, he had the longest stretch here at this point, and he's got the playoffs and things like that to back it up, which is what the other guys lack. Not really to their own fault, mind you, but you know, those teams are super weak, especially in Kaká's case. That man's a saint for dealing with it as long as he did. But I mean, as far as that goes, you got him. I think you have to put him at 1 at this point. Like I don't see what else. I don't see what else you could put up there to. I mean, maybe if Larin was around that much longer. For me, I said this privately in our chat, but for me, there's a couple of different factors. Not necessarily for me, but I would say when someone's talking about like, oh, this person deserves their jersey retired, or like if you're talking about other sports, their jerseys retired, their numbers retired, or they build them a statue, or this, that, or whatever. You got guys that statistically you should put in there. You got guys like Larin, you got guys like even Chris Mueller, but the difference with those guys is they didn't have the fan love given back to him, at least the whole way through. Especially in a guy like Mueller's case. Larin was always kind of up and down around here, but it's, you know what I mean? But I feel like you have to have that statistical success and you have to have that connection with the fans. You know what I mean? And Facu, while I would say his connection with the fans is definitely probably lesser than like a Kaká, who I would say has the highest by far. That's why even though he wasn't around that long, I guess you could say, it's, people still hold him dear to the heart like this. But while I wouldn't say Facu has the connection to the fans the way that people look at Nani, or they remember Nani, or they remember even Kaká, he definitely has it over guys like Laren, guys like Mueller, things like that. Mind you, our fans are kind of fickle, to be honest, and like if Facu ever leaves, depending on how he leaves, they might do the same. But as of right now, I would say you have to put him at 1 just because his statistical contributions along with the team's success, he has all 3 factors for me. So he has to be up in that Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I agree. Mike?
I mean, and I say this as a guy who Kaká was my first favorite player. Like, I remember watching Kaká in the Champions League for AC Milan against Manchester United, where he had that ridiculous solo goal that he went through the entire defense and made defenders run into each other. Like, I've loved that guy from the very early in his career. But I think he's been, he had such a huge impact on the beginning of this club. Nani was someone who was synonymous with the club turning a new leaf. Facu is synonymous with this club's first success. And because of that, that's why I put Facu. He's got to be at number 1. Like, and there's times that they're streaky, but I mean, I was with everybody. Like, if you look, Kaká had injuries with issues with injuries. Nani, towards the end of every season or during the summer, we're like, oh, there's the age of Nani showing again. Like, he goes in that slump for a while where we just miss him for a while. You have that with all of your star players, no matter what. But for me, when you look at the player that ends up being synonymous with the first success of the club, and he's synonymous with the most successful period that we've had. Obviously, when we're talking about like this Mount Rushmore and who's number 1 or whatever, we're talking just players. Like, so we're not looking at front office people or coaches or stuff like that, because I know a lot of people argue, oh, Oscar or Muzi or the Rollins family, like stuff like that. Just when we say this for saying so you guys understand how our debate was working, we kept it to just players. But yeah, I'm at the point now where if we're looking at just a player's Mount Rushmore, my 1 through 3 is perfectly sorted. We kind of had this discussion as a group. Yeah. Our 1 through 3 is sorted, and we feel like 4 is the one that's up for debate. Because for me, it's Facu, it's Kaká, it's Nani. 4th spot, you could make an argument for a couple different players.
Yeah, I've said it myself, bro. Like, if anybody wants to argue those first 3 you just named, I'm not even going to waste my time arguing with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who's your 4th?
I hate to be one so like straight line like that and like not take people's opinions. But when it comes to that, if you talking about a top 3 for this franchise and it's not those 3 up there, if you're talking Mount Rushmore, then I'm not even gonna waste my time arguing with you, because that's just a waste of time.
So Cleon, who's your 4th?
The 4, that's what's up for debate. The 4, I honestly don't think we have a solid 4. Like a guy that you could say he's on the Mount Rushmore. Like, could you just pick somebody? Sure.
I have 4 names that I think it could be between. My 4 names are it's between Kyle Laren, Pedro Gallese, Mauricio Pereira, and Robin Janssen. One of those 4. I think as long as if we're looking at those 4, those are names that it's fair for it to be. I'm not sure how much further we could dive into it to see who else it could be.
I don't even know if I could put Laren there, only because the fans hate him. Or a lot of them.
It's easy.
Or a lot of them. So it's like, I don't even know if I could put him there.
It was easy for you? What are you doing, Tyler Turner?
Statistically?
No.
Like,
Ramos, baby. No.
If you want to talk statistically, sure. But like, you talking about a Mount Rushmore, that's a monument. That's a what do you call that? That's a
A
the
landmark.
thing. Yeah, it's a land. It's a it's
Statue.
like a place of worship, bro. Like our fans don't like him, and like statistically, it should be Laren. You should be talking about Laren. You should be talking about Mueller, or you should be talking about Pedro. If you're talking about statistics and things like that, sure, it should be one of those guys. But if you're talking
It's
about
Robin
Mount
Janssen.
Rushmore, bro,
It's Janssen, no doubt. The year before Robin Janssen came, Robin Janssen was signed in 2019 in the offseason. The year before he came, we allowed 74 goals. The guy has single-handedly been
I'd argue that.
the absolute stake in our back line for 5 years now. Pedro, a lot of his work is easier because of Robin Janssen. So for me, I think it's cut and dry. The only other guy I would think of would be Pedro, but I mean Janssen is, to me, if he didn't have questions around being the captain this year, there'd be no doubt. You look at a guy like Mauricio Correa, fantastic, awesome, love that guy, right? Nico Ladero has similar numbers as Mauricio did, and we all hate him. He's not very good for us, but still, he has similar numbers as what Mauricio did. So, I think a lot of that has to do with like the system, but it has to be Janssen. It's Kyle Laren. You look at his games. He got to play with Kaká. He was a number 9, who had literally one of the best number 10s in the history of all of soccer in the world for 2 of his years. So
I would definitely argue that.
But for me, it's Janssen. All that, no doubt.
The only thing that stinks about this is I said I was going to make a graphic a couple weeks ago about this when we originally started the conversation, and I never did. So now you're going to force me to have to make something for us to post.
Yeah, I'm putting Janssen. Who are you putting, Cleon?
It's not really just that. It's more the single handedly and stuff like that. Like I would say, that was, he signaled the turn of when we just weren't throwing trash back there at the center back position. But he's always had a decent partner compared to like our center. You go back before him and to the beginning and up until that year, our center backs were trash. Like they were not even MLS players. And so for me, it was he signaled the turn of when we started investing a little more in our center back pairings. But I single-handedly, I can't say that. For me.
But he didn't answer my question. Mike's going to make a graphic. Who's going to be the fourth?
If I had to choose, it would be between Laren, Pedro.
No, you got to pick one guy.
Ronson. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm still telling you who I'm picking between for that 4th spot, and then I'm going to tell you who I would choose out of that group. Mind you, these guys I wouldn't put them on Mount Rushmore, but forcing me. It will be between Laren, Pedro, Robin, Mueller, I guess, and like
and Higuita.
Bro, is none of those guys, bro. It's none of those guys. But if I had to pick one, I would probably go with Pedro. Oh, and Mauricio. And Mauricio's in that group too. But
that's why I was shaking my head no so violently. I'm like, how can you be saying Mueller and leave out Mauricio?
I forgot about. I don't know how it slipped. He slipped my mind just now. Yeah, well, it would be between Pedro. I would go in order. It would be Pedro, Mauricio. I could put Janssen in front of Mauricio too, though. I don't know, bro. For me, none of those guys would be up there, honestly.
So it's Pedro.
It's at 3.
Cleon.
It's at 3.
Cleon's 4th guy right now is Pedro.
It's at 3.
Mike?
For me, I think that I am going to go with Mauricio as my pick, the captain to take us over the line. So I like all of us having different choices.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Respond in the comments.
My 4 guys only up there because y'all forced me to put a 4th up there. If it was up to me, there's only 3 people on the Mount Rushmore.
Blame
Mount Rushmore's got four faces on it, man. Blame the people that built it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have 4 guys, bro. We don't have 4 guys. The 4th guy is honestly the one we said we can't count, and that's the coach. It will be Oscar, honestly. but we're not counting coaches. So
that's true. Fair.
All right, stock up, stock down. Mike, you started off.
Stock up. I'll give it to Ramiro. Back on top here with this one. He's been a little bit down lately, but a goal and an assist in this game. Positive performance. You got to like it. Stock down, Nico. Dude, what are you doing with that penalty kick you allowed, man? Like, just a dumb challenge, dumb area. I think that's what kind of turned it on its head a little bit for us. The first 70, 75 minutes of this game, I felt were incredibly comfortable, but we gave them that penalty kick. It gave them a chance to get back into it and caused us to get a little bit flustered. So going to give it to Nico, who I will admit on Den After Dark, I mistakenly in our group chat immediately thought that was Rodrigo that made the foul.
It looked, I thought it was too. It looked just like it. From that angle, I thought it was Rodrigo too. The way he made the challenge. The movement looked like Rodrigo. Let's just put it that way.
It did.
It looked like after you see guys so long, you kind of like, you start to pick up on the way they move and things like that. And the way he made the challenge, I thought it was Rodrigo too.
Who's your stock up and down, Cleon?
Stock up, I'll have to go Ramiro as well. Yeah, I'll have to go Ramiro as well. Stock down. It's been hard to get stock downs lately, bro. I'll go with. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. I'll change it to actually Rodrigo for my stock up. He's been solid. I hate to say it. I hate to give this guy credit, bro. I hate it. I hate to give him credit because every time we do, he goes back to being Rodrigo. But for now, for the show purposes, I'll give him a stock up. Stock down, I'll still go with Angulo, I guess. I don't know. He wasn't terrible this time, I guess. He wasn't good either. But,
The thing is if Rodrigo can avoid the cataclysmic mistake, we could win it all. We should have won it all last year.
And it'll come at the wrong time.
Should have won it all last year, except, Rodrigo cost us the MLS Cup last year, in my opinion. We lost to the team that won the whole thing, and we lost them simply – the two guys cost us. Rodrigo, by far and away, the clear number one. Ojeda, which if you give him that chance this year, he's going to drill it. So you better not give him that chance. So those are the two guys, in my opinion, that cost us. Ojeda was 6 inches away from the greatest moment in sports history for me as a fan for any of my teams. And then 4 minutes later, Rodrigo blew it all. So is I believe how it went. So, but if he can avoid that, I don't think a lot of teams can beat us. If any, literally. I don't know
if Tua didn't get a concussion, I wouldn't be 1-3.
I don't know about that. I
wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Tyreek ain't gonna score you 60 a game. Mike outscored you about 100 this week. So
that was this week. Nobody was beating that this week.
No. My team, everybody went off. So
my stock.
You just said something. I retroactively went back with my new lineup after I made my trades. If I had that same lineup in week 1, you know what I would have scored? 181 points. Insane.
So things are looking up.
No, I went through the whole thing and I'd be 2-2 like the rest of you, but at least I won't be in the gutter.
You're only one game back being in it.
Literally, I play JJ next week. I'll win and you lose. You're 2-3. I'm 2-3. And along with everyone, along with half of everybody.
I'm playing the 4-0 guy, but he doesn't have a quarterback.
Both of the guys at the bottom, thank God. Both the guys at the bottom are playing the guys at the top. They're playing Eddie and Adrian. So
he's gonna have to drop. He's gonna have to drop Herbert, or Daryl's gonna have to drop Herbert He's gonna have to drop Herbert, is what I said.
All right, we're doing it again. Let's get back. We didn't say it for
But
side.
yes, I'm excited about that. My stock up is Ramiro, and my stock down is it's the inverse of Ramiro. It's Duncan, right? I mean, if Ramiro's stock is up, Duncan's stock is down, especially after him could have had 2 goals and he didn't. So
I don't know, bro.
that's just because that's all I can put it on. Other than Nico,
I almost for my stock up. I almost said the striker. I said Ramiro, but I almost said our striker position. Period.
Yeah,
because both of them, even when Duncan started, Ramiro came in, and he's just doing things right away. And it's the same thing with Duncan. Yeah, he missed the 2 goals, but at the same time, he created both of them chances, which he normally is not going to miss. Right
and
away.
I gotta say, Muriel has looked a lot better off the bench too.
He's looked passable. He's looked passable. A lot better for him, but that's just his bar.
He looks better. He doesn't look $4 million a year good.
But I wouldn't say stock down on either one of those guys, honestly.
That could be a major player for us in the playoffs.
They're both. Opinion. Oh, if he pulls it together, yeah.
But, no, you're absolutely right. It's
he plays a little bit better than where he is right now. But as he's trending up, it's 1-1 and he comes in the game. I think that could be a big time play for Orlando City. With him creating chances, with him coming in with either Duncan or Enrique, either one of those guys, But right now, it looks like the Muriel and Duncan partnership coming in as subs is really kind of.
He's got his timing. He's got his timing down pat, which is he's smart. He's smart, and he's experienced and he's smart, and so he knows. He sees those runs. A lot of times, Duncan will make runs, and guys don't really see it. And the one thing about Muriel, he does see that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just a matter of, if he's in position to make the play, things like that. But yeah, like I said, Ramiro's going and he's doing it. And if we pull him out, then Duncan's coming right behind him and making chances. And then same thing when we start in Duncan and Ramiro's coming behind him, he's doing the same thing. So it's like I feel like both of them are up. Both of them are up, bro. Like Duncan's literally about to have like 10 goals. The next one he scores.
Well, it's got to be Nico then, because But I mean, I don't know if his stock is already a 1 out of 10. Then I don't know. It's just
they went down, he went up.
Did you guys see before we get into the previews of the games, which should be quick? Did you guys see the vote on the biggest MLS rivals that we had? Did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah.
Did you vote?
I didn't see. I never saw the option to vote. I've been on Twitter a lot lately, so.
I know I did because it was done by American Soccer Analysis. I voted. Did you vote, Alex?
I did vote.
Who did you vote for?
Honestly, I voted for Miami just because I hate them more. But I almost voted for Columbus.
Interesting. So for those that are curious, I have it up right now. 136 Orlando fans voted. 58% of our votes went to Miami, 30% went to Atlanta, 5% went to New York City FC. And those were the top ones that were listed as our biggest rival.
Think that's accurate.
Huh?
I feel that's accurate. If you would have asked me without the numbers, I would have had that accurate. For me, I always say I hate Atlanta more than I hate anybody, but that's just me, and I know most of our fans now hate Miami more than Atlanta. But if I had to guess, that's exactly what I would have said. I would have said they're going to say Miami, Atlanta, and then New York City.
On the pitch, though, for the last 6 years, it's been Columbus on the pitch.
I don't think so.
Ever since that phantom handball by Mullen.
Dumb crap always happens with us in Columbus games, but there's just not.
And losing to them last year.
Let's put it this: we just don't have that animosity with each other like that. We just don't.
I don't think we have that animosity when we're not playing them. Like when we don't play Atlanta, we hate Atlanta. When we don't play Miami, we definitely hate Miami. But when we're scheduled to play Columbus and it's coming down on a Saturday night, I think a lot of people hate them more than definitely Atlanta right now. Really, the last few years.
I would say for me,
Columbus, people hate Columbus more, I think. Right
I would say for me, I don't hate Columbus. Like if Columbus is on the schedule, I'm not seeing Columbus and be like, oh, I hate them. I hate them after some dumb crap happens with the refs, like after the incident happens, which always seems to happen almost, or at least once a year when we play Columbus, something dumb happens. But like is there? I would never say they're ones that are just like I look at and be like, oh, I hate those guys when it comes. Like for me, us with Atlanta, those are the only ones to where there's fan interaction about hating each other. You know what I mean?
agree.
I don't know if Miami fans are just not on Twitter or what, but I don't see that. Like I'll see always from the same guy. You know what I mean? When it comes to Miami, but Atlanta, it's everyone and all the time.
Well,
It's everyone.
the Miami dig was the funniest part.
And New York City as well. And New York City as well. And all of our big matches always end up against them, bro. How many times we match up in the playoffs? If it happens now, we're gonna match up with New York City FC again in the playoffs. Again. All our big penalty kicks or all this drama always came against NYCFC. The whole stealing our seats and fighting cops and all that type of dumb crap was NYCFC.
The running of the wall was against NYCFC.
Everything. Yeah, almost all of our moments on the pitch happen against them. Every single time.
Mike, read the Miami script.
So yeah, that's what I was about to get to. So I'm looking. I have it brought up right now. I do want to go ahead and say we are in the top of 3 other teams. Nashville, we were at like 7% of theirs, so we weren't that high up on their list. But Nashville, some of their fans voted for us to be one of their biggest rivals. Atlanta, we were the top rival for them at 55%, even though we have moved on from them. And the funniest thing on this was for Miami, we were their biggest rival, but they only got 34 votes. 34 Miami fans that queued in. So they wrote on this, while Inter Miami may have 17 million followers on Instagram, only 34 fans completed the rivalry survey.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, bro. That's the only reason why.
That's why I think if I remember,
because there's never any fan interaction between us.
That's why if I remember correctly,
unless it's at the match. If it's at the match, then sure.
There
like
used
online
to be,
and
this is the thing. No, there used to be fan interaction. Since the circus came to town, it's not the same as it used to be. I feel like in the beginning with Miami, when it was like the Higuain days and they were, you know, cheeks, there was a lot of fan interaction. There was a lot of talk back and forth, and it was serious at some points. But ever since the circus came to town, and it's just been all about the messy show, and the league doesn't care about anybody else but them now, it's all these fake fans and bots everywhere. Like there's no real genuine interaction between us and them anymore. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I voted for Atlanta when I filled this out because I agree. I still think that that's our biggest rival. They wanted it to be Miami, but they've kind of stopped caring about the rivalry when Messi got here, and the league didn't really give a crap about anything else aside from the fact of, ooh, shiny new toy. But yeah, it's just kind of funny seeing the fact that I think they had the lowest interaction out of any team when it came to filling out that survey, which is just funny because they have all these followers, but it kind of showcases that they're not really real fans. They're there for one reason and one reason only, and that's about it.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I hate them. It's hard. I think a lot of us are in the same boat where, like, we've watched, and it's professional soccer, so you know you play the same teams like over and over again, and after when you watch for 10 years, you can pick a reason to hate every team, especially in the Eastern Conference. You know, I can make arguments. I hate DC. Like I said, I hate Columbus, NYC, Miami.
Oh, DC, I don't like them.
Oh,
I don't like DC, bro. And that's all because of Rooney, bro. I will never forget. I hate DC. All that bad crap happens against them, bro. I hate DC.
You know, I think you're better off asking me, like,
until you said the name. I remember how much I hate them.
I think it's better off asking me, like, who do I not consider a rival, you know, at all, you know, and it would probably be like, I guess, like Montreal and
Boston, Montreal,
and, Charlotte, you know, maybe Chicago, but even still, not a big fan of them.
Chicago don't care about,
but like 10 out of 15,
even New England don't care about, and they even eliminated us one year. Yeah, and I still don't care about them.
No, to be fair, that year Juan eliminated us.
That's true.
We had two red cards that playoff game, didn't we? Or no?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
Juan and
or was it
Mauricio.
Mauricio that got the red card in that one?
I think they
it
both
was
did,
both of
bro.
Yeah, okay, yeah, well then. Blame Juan first. He's not here anymore.
We played him a few times this year. He was on Dallas, and I said, "Didn't we just play him a couple weeks ago?"
Bro, for real. Oh, how
When he
many
was with
times we
Montreal?
played Juan this year, bro? On different teams. Every
I
time
think
we
we
line
beat
up,
him all three
Juan's on the
times.
roster. Like, and I'm like, what?
I think we beat him all 3 times too.
Did this dude get cloned? Like, why is he on everybody's roster every time?
Actually, we played him in Leagues Cup too, so we beat him 4 times this year. And I think he played in every single one. Yeah, I felt bad for him.
I think he started in all of them.
All right, let's talk about. By the time you listen, will be Philly at home tonight, 7:30 p.m.
He might be on Philly.
On his way.
An interesting team, man. Philly's an interesting team. You're looking at a team that's in 9th, but they have a higher goal differential. They got a better goal differential than us, plus 10 on the goal differential. Ninth position. They got 9 wins all year. But, a team that always plays us tough, I feel like. A team that, is in the middle pack of hatred for me. I'm not a fan of them. But we get them at home. It's a short week, for us, especially traveling from Dallas. And obviously we played our number ones on Saturday night against Dallas. It's not going to be an easy match. It never is. It never is an easy match against these fellas. From Harrison, right? Harrison, whatever. No, where's Philly from?
Chester.
I knew it was some like white middle name city, like somebody you name your white kid's middle name or something like that. But Chester, PA, and I think I don't think it's going to be an easy match. I don't think we're going to score 3 or 4 goals. I think we're going to have to dig it out. And I'm going to go with the Poppy special. I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0 Orlando City. And Robin Janssen and Pedro Gillespie are going to farther the debate on the 4th person in the player Mount Rushmore for Orlando City. Mike? Cleon's looking at me like he's still thinking.
I'm going to take your Poppy special and raise you to a double Poppy special. I'm going to go 2-0. We're gonna get one early via Facu. He's gonna steal one early, and then Duncan as a sub is gonna get one late on a counter while they're throwing everything forward to try and get an equalizer. So 2-0, right. 2-0. Facu and Duncan on the score sheet. Book it.
Cleon?
I wish I shared y'all's confidence. There's certain teams to where Columbus was one of them that I could every year, like if we were doing a preseason preview, I would never think they were going to be good every single time. But like they're not. I would swear they overachieved every single year, and I'd be like, no, they're not that good, and they're always that good. But for some reason, I would just never believe in them, and they'd always end up there at the end. Philly is one of those teams I would never believe is bad. I don't care what the record says. I will never believe that's a bad team. And so they completely changed their players, coach, all of that. But I don't know. It feels like a trap game, bro. I ain't gonna say it out loud. So just move on. I ain't gonna say the result because I want to put the juju in the air and then y'all blame me.
So
we do this every week, man.
I feel like this is a trap game.
All right. So Cleon looked at the spreadsheet and said we're gonna lose, which isn't a bad thing this year because the spreadsheet has shown some flaws. So it's okay. It's definitely okay. No, I agree with you, Cleon. I mean, it's going to be a tough match, but at the end of the day, I mean, we're as hot as you can be, and it's at home. I think we're gonna put it together. I just think it's going to be a scratchy game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 1-0, they tie it, and then we get the cardiac cats involved. But
I hope so.
But yeah, I don't think it's a must win to get the 4th spot. I really don't, to be honest. Cincinnati don't literally have anything to play for. You know what I mean? I mean, they're playing for a 2 or 3 seed, but at this point, I guess what to play at home in the second round, I can get it. But
Can they technically get the Shield still, or is that
no,
done?
no, they can't get. I mean, technically, they'd have to win out. Miami would have to lose out. Columbus would have to lose.
Bro, Miami's gonna have more trophies than us, bro. In about 4 games, that's crazy.
The stars what matter, bro. The stars what matter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't really care about supporter shield.
I would if I was winning it.
I don't. I never have. It's never. I mean, when's the last time an MLS supporter shield winner won the MLS Cup?
I like all the trophies, bro. I want them all.
I get it, but I don't need a plate. I got plenty of those at home.
The only one that I want is the version of it that Philly got that one year where they weren't supposed to win it, so they just had to take a Captain America shield and they put a big sticker over it.
Yeah, they went to Walmart. Yeah,
you opposite
me.
I feel
a
like
real thing that happened.
I feel like that one don't even count.
No, it's just I'm joking because it's a real thing that actually happened in our stupid ass league. Sorry, part of my.
Yeah, I know, I saw it. But I'm like, for me, it was like y'all didn't even win it, bro.
Cleon, you got one for this one? Cincy away, you got any better vibes, or you think we're going to go 0-2 this week? Keep in mind, by the time we play Cincy,
I would say,
they might literally have nothing to play for.
So that one's a dub. Because I think this one coming up is a trap game, I'm going to say this one's a dub. Or at least a result. But I'm going to say a dub.
I think, personally, we match up with Cincinnati really well. They're having a hard time with the defense. They haven't been able to stay healthy back there. And even though it's on the road, they're not going to have a lot to play for, I think, by the time, second to last game. And they really can't move anywhere. I mean, they can jump Columbus, but Columbus has a game in hand and a point on them. And it's Columbus. So, personally, I'm gonna say it's going to be 2-1. I think we're going to win both these games this week. Ooh. I think we're the hottest team in MLS. And I once again think that we are an MLS Cup contender with where we're at. So even though we're the 4 seed, even though we played horrible at the beginning of the year, how we're playing right now, I do not think many teams in the league can beat us. That being said, actually, no, I don't think we're going to have to play them. I think it's going to be us and Columbus in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm not too worried about them. Of course, you got that little man, Lucho. So if we can stop him, 2-0.
What position Columbus in? Third?
Columbus in second.
Second?
Yep. Columbus has 57 points and a game in hand on Cincinnati, who's got 56.
Yeah, but look what happened.
I'm going to go ahead and say 0-0 draw in this one. It's going to be a defensive game. Good goalkeeping. Kind of checks out for how games usually go with Cincy. Remember last year we beat them 1-0 away. Kind of shocked the league at that point because of the fact that they were pretty much running away with the Shield. But I think we can keep them off the score sheet. I do believe that.
I have a hard time keeping Lucho Acosta off the score sheet whenever.
It is hard, but we've been able to do it before. We could do it again.
Either way you slice it, 4 points is a dub. If we can get 4, in my opinion.
I think so.
No matter how way it comes.
I'll be happy with that.
That heads into Atlanta decision day, and we'll need a win to get into that fourth seed. I think straight up win. So if we get 6 points this week,
it's decided.
Nothing.
It's good.
They need nothing against Atlanta, to be honest. So, all right, shout outs. Who's going first?
Gonna go ahead and give a shout out to my man Evan Weston. Go Mets. Keep it simple.
I know what my shout out is. I know what my shout out is, but it's sad, so I'm going I can go last.
I'm gonna shout out the certified flight instructor exam and study material because let me tell y'all, it's kicking my ass up and down the street and then back and up and down again. I'm trying, but man, whoever developed this, it's tough. So mine's halfway sad. How sad can yours be? And the pride too. You got to keep shouting out the pride.
Oh yeah. All Orlando teams in the playoffs, baby. OCB, yeah. Pride, Orlando City. You love to see it. First time ever.
Well, Swag had the perfect segue for this about something kicking his ass. And there comes a time in every man's life where you just have to admit defeat. And that moment for me came this morning when all I did was get up out of bed and threw my damn back out again.
Oh, no.
So, with that said, it is now, 3-4 games left with the season. I said I'll be done with my training before this and run my 40 before the season ends. And I can't even work up the energy to get that training started. And then I threw my back out this morning. So with that said, go check your Cash App, Mike. That's the white flag. There's your $100. I'm a man of my word.
You did not have to send me that money, man. I told you I would have said you did not. I could send that back to you. You didn't have to
don't
send
do that. That's what the bet was. That's what the bet was. I threw my back out this morning. It's killing me It's killing me right now just sitting there doing this podcast. I just can't do it, bro. I can't do it. I was like, just get some push-ups in, like 10. I can't, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it, bro.
We got an extra big bozo bet coming this week, then.
That's why I had to change it. That's why I had to change it. And I mean, my birthday is in like 7 days, bro. I'm about to be like damn at 50. And I'm like, man, my back's going out. I'm just getting out of bed. Last time my back went out last year. Remember the year I was out like half the season because my back was all messed up. I literally sneezed, bro. Sneezed and my back went out. I can't do it, man. I just don't. I don't have the energy, man. I can't do it.
I see why. So no longer sticking there.
That's why it's a question mark.
I just updated it for you in real time.
Who changed my? He can do that.
I have the power.
I'm gonna leave it. You should have left the 2024 up there though, but I'll leave it. I'll leave it for the rest of the year. I'll take my licks. This is what we call in Bermuda. We don't call it ass, but we call it licks. I'll take my licks. Whatever.
So I'll leave it on again next year,
I'll leave it up there.
No longer faster at all.
I'm no longer faster than Vita Vea in 2024.
How about 2025?
I just updated it again.
Down $100.
Come on, man. Down $100. Really, Mike? I'm just having a bad year, bro. Like all around. Like I don't understand what's going on here, man. It's just my whole life's falling apart right now, bro. All my fantasy leagues, I'm like 2 and 8, 2 and 9 right now. Lowest scoring in all the leagues. Like what's going on, man? This ain't me. This ain't me.
That's
bro.
okay.
What is going on?
If Orlando City wins it all, I'll finish last in every fantasy league. I don't care.
Gladly.
But that's a lot of Mr. Chicken sandwiches.
That's the only thing that is up. Them sandwiches are selling, boy. But
thank you, KFC.
Thank you. Oh, they back now, but I'm still killing them. They back now. They finally opened up, but I'm still killing them.
Oh my God. We're gonna have to clip this segment and post it. Because the facial expressions were phenomenal. Cleon. Oh shoot! All right, y'all. Well, it's a big week. This is a big week, and hopefully we can get at least 4. If we get 6, we're looking at 2 home playoff games, at least, and 2 out of 3 if we get that far, and definitely looking to have another watch party. So we'll have to drag Cleon out to that for sure, and maybe have to get him in the wheelchair to do it. But
let that man hover around.
He'll be there, and we're gonna start planning it. But if you're interested in that, just throw us a comment, let us know your interest, and we'll promote it the same way. And hopefully, even though we have left stuff that we may be giving away, we could get more people out because it is going to be a huge match, and the atmosphere will be fantastic, especially if we're up 1-0 from a home dub going up into NYC or New York or even Charlotte. So, but thank you guys all for listening. We appreciate y'all, and as always, vamos Orlando.
Vamos.
See y'all next week.
Vamos.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Orlando Lions Den podcast. Don't forget to follow us at Orlando Lions Den on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. See you next week. in the Den.